Hello guys, welcome to my channel again. Today we are at beautiful Palermo airport and we are gonna perform very tricky and challenging airport, which is Samos overhead. The great circle distance to Samos is approximately 800 nautical miles, so it will be more or less short to medium flight. And today I am using live weather. Regarding to our Samos airport, I carefully watch the NOTAMs and carefully watch the weather, actual weather at Samos and forecast weather for Samos. And I realized that always when I am flying to Samos, whether it is in real life or it is in flight simulator, the wind conditions are nearly the same. What is the problem regarding to Samos airport? It's not a problem, the visual part of the landing, even if it is quite a challenge. The problem is almost the wind conditions. You have strong crosswind component during your landing all the time, all the summer. So there is basically no possibility to fly there without crosswind conditions. That makes Samos airport really tricky and really challenge to fly there. That's why if you would like to fly to Samos in real life, you have to be quite experienced. Not that experienced that you are well known about 737 systems and which switch is connected to which system and I don't know, whatever, but you need to have the experience to be able to fly the airplane within the crosswind conditions fully manually and perform it quite well. So we can jump into the cockpit and we will start our preparation. Right from the beginning, from cold and dark. Okay. Only one thing which is not cold and dark related is I put into the PMDG on the start setup, and it's always on battery. So that's the only different. In order to speed up the things, we can pre-select the ground services. Imagine that potable and drinking water is already on board, which is you can find it in the aft cargo compartment, and approximately it's 2000 liters or 2400. Sorry, 200 on 240 liters of potable water tank, I guess so, and lavatory waste as well. Imagine the cleaning and catering is as well on board, because in order we will wait in Palermo airport for a long time. So in this case, I will just very quickly request for stairs, left and right, and passenger bars as well. Actually, in real life, we do not tell the handling agent to put the passengers into the bus unless the refueling is completed and cabin crew and the flight crew is fully ready for boarding, because in some circumstances you may be prepared, and what happens, suddenly it starts raining and your performance calculations, you see it's doesn't allow you to take off because you are, for example, quite heavy for takeoff. In this case, it makes no sense to put passengers back to the terminal and wait for a weather improvement, or let's say to leave them in the airplane for 1 or 2 hours, basically without nothing, just with the water. So that's the reason why we don't put passengers into the bus. As soon as we are ready and we know that we have no CTOT, so slot time for our departure. Anyway, what we can prepare, we have checked baggage of almost 3 tons, it's 2,800 kilograms, so I put 1,000 in front and 1,800 to aft cargo compartment. And passengers for today's flight, we are almost full, we have 139 passengers. So that's it regarding to our flight preparation, and we can make it preliminary. So this is okay. Standby power is off, hydraulic panel set, 5 spark, gear down, 3 green. Overheat detection is working. Fire test. It's performed well, so we may start the APU. If you have any questions regarding the technical side of the Boeing, leave me a comment below and I will answer you as soon as possible. Okay, and meanwhile check the safety equipment and check the documentation on board. We may put the parking brake set for Captain walk around. Okay, we have APU available. I put APU on bus, perform the test once again for wheel light. It's okay. That's quite perfect. I'm pretty sure. Okay. Perform the battery test. PSI light. It's not illuminated. Otherwise, airplane will be AOG. Overrunning systems are quiet. This is working after 4 minutes of AC power. Doors, everything, circuit breakers are okay, so we can connect the fuel. So request fuel truck. Minimum block fuel for our flight is 6,700 kilograms, and just in case of strong crosswind component, I will put let's say 500 extra more to make it a one go around, and thereafter there will be no choice. Yeah, we can do it quite more for 2 go around, so let's say put 1000, and we need to check within our limitations for landing weight if it is okay, so I put 8600. It's approximately 30 minutes of holding, and that's it. In the meanwhile, we can fill up the FMC. Okay, we have Palermo Airport, and as I can see, I am on stand number 301. Okay. So we may start refueling. Stand was 301. Just to let them know, cabin crew, the refueling is in progress. We can see it matches with our last position. Samos routing, activate, execute. We have Palermo departure. We will check the weather. I checked the weather within the pre-flight preparation, but anyway it may change. Wind is 0 to 0, 11 knots. So in case, let me see what runway we will use for departure. We have Palermo. Taxi. Okay, 07 will be quite okay for us. In this case, departure runway 07 and Palermo. Again, 3 options. Yeah, well, it's quite nice because it leads us all the way back to Palermo, so if there is no air traffic controller right now, which it shouldn't be, I check it with my VPilot, there is nobody out here, I will make it non-start non-visually, and from this particular airnav waypoint I will go straight ahead. Remember, in real life, do not do it. Anyway, so Palermo and the departure is from runway 07 Palermo 5 Romeo, as you can see here. So Palermo 5 Romeo, it's right over there. As I said, we can perform non-standard takeoff with heading select. Our cruising level is for the first segment of flight 380, and then we have step descent and route of point descending to level 370. We will see how far we are from top of descent, and in this case I will realize which is better, 390 or 370. But yeah, anyway, we have a little bit higher cost index, and the final FMC reserves is 2.8 for our takeoff, so for our destination alternate, which is Athena airport. That's quite okay. Transition altitude, I guess so it was 6,000 or 5,000 is okay, so that's quite perfect. Wind was 2/29. Regarding to this cruising wind, somebody is putting their top of climb wind and then put the cruise wind conditions. If you checked your FCOM flight crew operation manual or FMC cockpit companion, FMC companion from Bill Buffer, you realize that there is nothing stated above top of climb wind. It's just the cruise wind, and be aware of the fact that that has a negligible effect. The top of climb wind comparing to average wind component in cruise should differ quite a lot in order to put the top of climb wind here. So it's up to you what you put there. Okay, ISO deviation is +12. That means minus 44. That's okay. Master caution, light test, all the lights are okay. And what we can do now, we have QNHs of 1017. So 1017, it's pre-selected. For no engine fail procedure, just straight ahead over the sea, declare emergency, hold on present position, basically no MSA, right there. So Okay, as it's RNAV departure, with these conditions we have 11 knots. If we have engine failure and during engine failure, in case of relanding we are using flaps 15 and our indicated airspeeds will be approximately 160 up to 170 knots. In this case I will consider a landing runway 07, and in this case I will put VOR in case we lose RNAV capability as well. So 164. Oh, 064, sorry. I'm always making mistakes. 064 is as well there. And what the next? 113.0. 113.0. We have put it on both sides. Put it as well here, and again come back to our departure, which was Palermo 5 Romeo. We have no initial climb. Only restriction is speed 220 and 5000 feet, regarding to climb gradient 400 feet, and that means 6.6% climb gradient, which we easily make it without any problems. So directly putting flight level 380. My advice to you is please prefer clean cockpit configuration. What does it mean? It means that if you put another VOR which not matches, for example, our conditions, I need to have the informations I'm currently using on navigation display. So try to be precise in this way. And our departure heading is as well 064. That means that our VOR procedure in case of relanding is not offset VOR, which is perfect. Okay, so anyway, start scan flow. Emergency exit lights. It's okay. It's fine. As we are on the APU, we can put it on bleed and cool down the cabin, as the temperature is 30 degrees of centigrade. Landing elevation is 0 at Samos. That's quite okay. Oxygen tested 100%. This is so far so good. Reset the fuel. Takeoff config warning is okay for us. More brightness on the panel as we are on the VATSIM 122.0 on standby. I am always pre-selected even on VATSIM emergency broadcast. It's quite okay. Refueling is completed. That's pretty perfect, as we are almost complete with our pre-flight preparation, so we may start the boarding when the cabin is ready. So request passenger bus, and fuel is detaching, so we can put the fasten belts on position. We have 700 kilograms. In this case I will leave this one pump for APU, just in order to avoid imbalance condition. And we can ask for loaders as well. We may start the boarding. So once again, there was nothing into the MEL CDL, so nothing special what we may pay attention regarding to the our flight system. So minimum equipment list is cleared, configuration deviation list clear as well. So airplane is fully okay. Regarding to NOTAMs, there is nothing, only one thing, but this is the minor thing. Anemometer, which measure wind conditions for runway 27 at Samos, is unserviceable, so I will simply disregard it because we have another one for runway 09 anyway. Anyway, so transition altitude 5000, as we said, routing Charlie Juliet 622, Charlie Juliet 617, speed 220, limitations 5000 at or above, Charlie Juliet 618, 2200 at or above, Charlie Juliet 623, level 80 to Palermo VOR. And as I said before, if we don't have the air traffic controller or any conflicted traffic, I will proceeding straight ahead via heading and put the first waypoint over there. Regarding to the taxi, yeah. Last time I flew the Palermo in real life, I asked for if we need the pushback from this stand, because there are sometimes quite a tricky. The people don't know if it is possible to go straight ahead and join the first taxiway, but the Italian nature says that okay, Captain, I will remove the ground equipment and you can go straight ahead. Just tell the ground that you are able. That's it. So little bit unprofessional, but anyway, we can make it like it now. So quickly start loading. As you can see, pretty nice weather, no clouds. I have pre-selected random failures, I hope we have so, in order not to be bored. And what else? So taxi. Airport. Well, regarding this situation, we have to go all the way down because this is this is the half part of the landing. Takeoff distance required. So we need to go all the way down to holding point echo. In this case, for sure, I will double derate the engines. Makes no sense to go with the full thrust, even if it is 30 degrees of centigrade. And as you know, the 737 CFM engines are flood rated exactly at 30. But it's out of the way. Parking stands, we can check it right now. We are on stand 301. We are on 301, so in this case we should do the pushback and make it via taxiway hotel. And as I said before, my last flight from Palermo, I need to laugh because I asked handling agent, do we really need to do all the pushback procedure? And he told me, Well, Captain, disregarded. I will move the cards and everything to clear your taxi routing, and you can join the taxiway. Just coordinate it with the ground in Palermo, and they have no problem with it. So I hope it will be. We'll go straight ahead and join the Romeo. And from Romeo, first to the left via Lima Tango and holding point to Echo. Okay. That's why the checklists are on board, in order to check the critical items related to your flight. I have no checklist, but I have checklists in top of my head. But anyway, I always forget to put about some things. And okay, all passengers are on board. That's quite perfect for us. I will connect with ground personnel via external jack. And baggage loading is as well almost completed. I'm always scared with the crosswind component, with the crosswind landing, especially at Skiathos. Is quite a short runway and crosswind condition and a really short final, and your technical skills should be quite good enough in order to fly there in real life, because it's a big challenge to land there within these crosswind conditions. Right now we have actual wind 36014, and imagine the runway 09 and 227. So it's exactly the crosswind components, and we may choose westerly on easterly configuration for landing. What we will perform, we will decide it just prior the top of the descent point. In this case, just enjoy your flight. Okay, so everybody on board. Can make before start procedure. Once again, I check the VPilot. If there is ATC, it's no ATC right over there, so it's quite okay. Okay, transponder is set, so the doors are locked. My favorite jump seat should be always on. We check the equipment. We have front stairs, so we are not able to start the engines, so we release the stairs, and once the stairs are removed or doors are closed and locked, we may do the engine start procedure. It's quite okay. Start the block time, and engine number 2 is running. Starter cutout. The old quantity of engine number 2, it's a little bit low with its, but it is still with the limitation, and there is no video reverse over there. Okay, starter is cut out. That's fine. I forget to fill the rest of the FMC. Just realize it right now. Anyway, we have 0 to 0 11 knots. It's no problems at all. So 1 to 9 RWY. Takeoff safety speed. It's quite okay. So, ground power may remove the chokes, disconnect from headset, we can put the flaps 1, check the hydraulic systems, and before taxi procedure. Okay, flaps 1, green lights. Flight controls checked. You can switch off the APU. Come on. Blank lower display unit, press recall. Check the malfunctions. Basically nothing. We are good to go. Okay, so as we said before, straight ahead. Okay, I think this will be the Lima. Okay, once again let me check it. Yeah, like this way, as I remember. Okay, left is clear, right is clear. Before takeoff procedure, checklist, flaps 1, green light, stabilizer 5.9 units is approximately set. Yeah, it's right over there. Okay, we can prepare our departure chart and Okay, we are shortly crossing the runway, so left side is clear, right side clear, no traffic. Put the strobe lights on, always when crossing the runway, even if it is active or no. So, we have the holding point of runway 07, left clear, right clear, line up procedure. Start the flight time, we'll perform the rolling takeoff. So runway heading 064 is checked, engines are stabilized, takeoff.
knots.
80 knots checked.
E1. Rotate. Positive rate of climb.
Yeah, a little crosswind from the left. Approximately 13 knots. As I said before, 400 heading select. The pilot engaged. Heading select and CP speed command on FMA. So it's okay. Okay, we have climb thrust, N1. Okay, accelerating, bug up. There is nobody on Tikas out here. Okay, we can make a right turn to our first waypoint. Flaps up. This is just for enjoy the view. Flaps up, no light. I will perform the takeoff like this because there is nobody on the VATSIM, and just for your patience to enjoy the view. Please be aware in real life you are not allowed to do this. Okay, transition altitude 6000, 5000 was already passed. Altimeter setting cross-checked, we have. That's quite fine, so we can proceed via first point, which is Lebnu, right over there. LNAV, VNAV. Seems that with Palermo VOR we don't need any more. Flight level 100, reset minimums. Lights are off, there was strange sounds. I guess it was from VPilot. I hope it was from VPilot. Anyway, we have master caution center tank fuel pump switch is off. It's quite okay. And let me check the temperature of the cabin. 25 degrees of centigrade. I will cool down a little bit more. Oh, this was quite. And we may release the passengers as we are on en route climb speed. As you can see on the prograde, we have approximately 60 nautical miles. In front of us. So for those of you, you can skip the video to the approximately when we are 200 nautical miles before the Samos airport. In this case I will start a little bit more talking regarding to our approach and landing procedure. In order to know okay, we can load the flight from SimBrief, and as you can see let's say what are we going to do in real life. We need to somehow define our en route alternate airports, which right over here the airport is Crotone. Yeah, Crotone should fit for us quite well, because I flew to Crotone several times. It's quite okay airport, but it's not okay for the medical reasons. They don't have the proper hospital in case of you have serious medical problems on board. But anyway, we can make it like this one. We are going to fix page in case of something happen. We put there Palermo again with 200 nautical miles, and the next airport will be Crotone. And our Crotone I put there Athena. Athens airport, so you can see that we have basically 1, 2, 3 airports to divert. Regarding to engine failure, if we are within this circle, within the engine failure, I would come back to Palermo. If we are, let's say, far from this circle and we are close to this circle, which represents quite big airport in Athens city, I will divert to Athens. If we have or let's say, if we have medical case on board, I will as well divert, and this Crotone airport I put there in case of the let's say the problem which is not as coded for Mayday but for PAN. For example, we lose both generators and we need to land because we are only on battery, so we have 60 minutes of time to land. I will go for Crotone. If we are on fire, I will go as well for Crotone because fire category is as well for our 737-700 fire category. I guess it is 6. 800 is fire category 7. So that's why I put Crotone as an en route alternate airport. So this is just situational awareness.
LICJ traffic, also 2 hotel, pushing back off stand 2.
Okay, we have 1000 to level off. We are light, we are not so heavy at flight level 380. This buffered margin, I don't like it anyway. Okay, and we need to change our flight level to 370 or 390 overhead route on point, because we are out of Italian airspace. So in this case, let me check the weather charts. It's basically the same wind condition with lower temperature, which is fine for us. In this case, I would go for flight level 390. We'll see how much fuel we're gonna save. 2.6%, that's perfect. That's 5 minutes additional for our holding. It's one holding approximately. Okay, so I will delete it from here, and I will skip it. And I will check the fuel overhead at some point, but first of all, in-flight scan is important. Fuel temperature is okay, center tank, crossfeed, battery condition, auxiliary battery as well, transformer, rectifier 1 or 2 is working, generators as well. Generator 1, 2, that's okay. This is quite fine. Fuel differential pressure on cabin altitude approximately 7,000 feet. It's okay for us. Duct pressure temperature is 21, so maybe a little bit warmer. Lights match the condition in flight. Brake accumulator, it's okay so far. Engine instruments, that's what we are looking for. Fuel flow. Oh well, and at 700 the fuel should be approximately fuel flow 800 kilograms per engine, or let's say 900 kilograms per engine if it is new airplane for 1 hour of consumption. It's quite higher. Oil quantity is a little bit decreasing. Okay, that's quite okay. What next? We will check it. Okay, so it looks like everything's going quite okay, quite well. So we check the fuel overhead Roxham point. We should have the fuel on board 5,200 kilograms. I will write it on my OFP, and we should burn 2,300 with the headwind component of 32 and minus 48 degrees of centigrade outside the temperature. So in this case, overhead Roxham we have 6,400, we should have 5,200. We have approximately 1,100 kilogram more on board, and regarding to used fuel, we burn 2,000 and we should burn 2,300, so we are saving 300 kilograms. And regarding to our progress page and to check the precision of our operational flight plan, we have tailwind of 34 knots and we should have 32, so it's very accurate. And outside the temperature is minus 48 degrees. That was as well predicted. So the live weather is very accurate. I hope so. Most of the people are doing their procedures quite a strange way, because if they are already on the ground, they put departure and arrival as well. We do not do this like this because you don't know exactly which runway is in use at your destination airport. You can predict it, yes, you can, and you can put there. But I may guarantee to you that for a short flight it makes sense. For a longer flight it doesn't make sense because it may change. They could change preferential runway system, wind conditions could change, there should be some incident on the runway, so runway can be closed and they need to use another runway, and there are too many factors and possibilities, so that's why I don't put the departures and arrivals on the ground, only if it is a short flight, like for example from Vienna to Innsbruck. Yeah, that makes sense. But if you are flying, for example, from Vienna to Hurghada, well, to put the departure arrival to Hurghada makes no sense, because it's quite a long flight as well. Gran Canaria, 5 or 6 hours. You could have the failure on board, you may divert, and so on and so on. So that makes no sense, and reduce your workload during pre-flight procedures and pre-flight preparations. Okay, we have 380, 380 and pre-selected 390 on overhead, because overhead route on point will go for flight level 390 for sure. So we are overhead Adriatic Sea. I'm apologizing to you to see only the water, nothing special. I promise the next flight will be somewhere into the mountains terrain, or let's pick up the Tromsø, this category C airport as well, with nice beautiful Norway scenery, wildlife. So we are shortly to Rutom. In this case it's just one level for climb, so we will make it smooth in order do not let passengers know that we are climbing. 500 feet will be enough. 390 here as well. This cost index 64 and we have marked decimal 80. I can't believe there are no clouds right over here. Okay, we are shortly to to reach the Lima Golf Alpha Victor Airport, Athena Airport circle. So in this case I will delete from fixed page Palermo. We are not going to turn back anymore to Palermo in case of something happen. So if we have serious troubles, for example fire on board, if we have fire on board I will definitely go for Crotone, and for any other reason I will proceed to Athens. So I will leave it Crotone like it is, and I will pre-select our destination airport, which is Samos, and 200 nautical mile, which that means that we reach the 80s frequency as well. Anyway, we can put it right now from ACARS page, but once again it makes no sense to do it because the runway news and wind conditions could change. Okay, we have flight level 390 back to VNAV. We have FNC speed VNAV pulse once again 390, pressurization is okay, 390 1 to 3 times, always check it. We have Corfu, some over here. Okay, so we are approximately reaching 200 nautical miles from Athens, from Athena airport. In this case, we may skip the Crotone airport as well from fixed page, and anything will happen, we will divert directly to Athens, and especially from this position. It is approximately 100, we can make it from 130 nautical miles from this altitude, so we have enough time for preparation and all the way down to Athens in case of something happens. Anyway, I will check the weather in our destination, alternate, which is Athena, Lima Golf Alpha Victor. So let me check it, and the weather is quite okay. A little bit windy conditions, but it is the headwind for runway 03. It doesn't matter 03 left or right. Sailing and visibility okay. Temperature 30. QNH 1013. Okay, that's nothing special. At this time only Dubrovnik Tower is online. Okay, we are within the Greece airspace. I look on the VATSIM, how much traffic is right over here. If there is somebody coming to Samos especially. Okay, so we have a traffic coming from Manchester to Samos, exactly 2 minutes behind us, and 10 minutes behind us there is another traffic coming from Calabria. And shortly prior our arrival there is a departure traffic, 1 minute. Yeah, but this is only one person with 2 flight plans and 2 registrations. I don't know what this guy is going to do, because he will maybe going to do the circle to land, because he have departure and destination the same, so that will be a VFR traffic. There is no airplane type. He's flying from Samos to Samos via some crazy routing. No, he's flying from Samos to Santorini. Okay, we will not hurry up, but we are gonna prepare for possible bog landing procedure. Anyway, we are shortly reaching our double descent point, so we'll check the fresh weather at Samos. Anyway. Okay, now it's blowing 350, 12 knots. So it's pretty fine and pretty cool. I'm happy with it. Why I'm happy with it? I am happy with it because we will have a little bit of headwind component for our easterly configuration. That means that we are going for runway 27. Okay, we will start our preparation. First of all, we check the runway at Samos. Okay, in this case landing distance available is 2000 meters. Anyway, we have crosswind. And the specialty of Greek island is that there is all the most of time I flew to the Greek airport, there are wind shear on short finals because the wind is blowing from the hills to the sea and making downdrafts. That's why in this case maybe you ask yourself why, but that could be wind shear, and in the forecast there is still depicted that gusting conditions. In this case, no matter how landing distance available is, I will go for flap 30. So in this case we are going to burn 1 ton of fuel, so we have 49.2 our landing weight, and flaps 30 plus 5 is 127. Okay, that's pre-selected. Definitely auto brake 3 and full reverse. What next? In order to speed up, because we have the traffic behind us. No, I don't care about the traffic. Anyway, we are near the sea, and the possibility of the bird strike into the windshield could happen. So in this case, I will leave it to 40 below flight level 100, and into the descent forecast page. I put there flight level 90, transition flight level, and QNH was 1008, and we have a nice feature. We'll use it once again. Anyway, this was discussed. If we need to hurry, I will turn the airplane on the runway and via alpha in order not to make another traffic to make a go around. So this is the first point. Santorin, the landing altitude is checked with overhead panel, that's okay. And arrival. We have arrival via Urnil point. In this case we have two possibilities: go to directly to Samos VOR via Urnil to Alpha, which I would like to avoid. Why? Because here there is the mountain terrain, and with these turbulence conditions I would like to avoid to fly over there, and in order to let the passengers comfort and coming back again once, that makes no sense. I will make it via Urnil 1 Charlie, and as we said before, we are going for runway 27 configuration. It's Urnil 1 Charlie and transition via Deluxe point. Okay, so this part is checked, and as a backup DME I just pre-selected Samos DME. It's 375. Put it again to the navigation display. Go back to the chart and watch now. We have final approach course of 358. And Samos VOR is 111.6. Okay, now setting we have prepared. MCP is prepared, auto brake we have set, flap setting is set, basically FMC is set, and now here is a little bit tricky situation. This is what I was talking about. I would like to avoid this hill and go through Samos VOR and outbound lake and then turning back. Why? Makes no sense. And that was the reason, and the wind is blowing like this one from this direction. So if we are going to circle to land for runway 09er, we are close to the terrain and close to the obstacles, with especially with the gust conditions. It could be dangerous for us. I would like to definitely avoid this type of let's base leg and short final, and I would like to go via the sea, so basically the easter configuration. Anyway, what is important, from Deluxe we need to lose 4000 feet to our final approach fix, which is DME9er. That means that overhead Deluxe I put their speed restriction to have flaps 5, let's say, or below, to have flaps 5 and to make a smooth transition to our final approach fix. Minimum descent altitude for circle to land is 1880. I will put it exactly here, but we will level the airplane at 1900. Okay. Missed approach procedure. Climb on radial, basically straight. Climb on this radial to 3000, then turning right to VOR, climbing 6000 and back again for another approach. It's quite simple. Transition 7000. What is now important? How we perform the visual part. I made a simple picture which I made from another source, another chart, just to see it clearly, more clear than on that chart. And it says that we need to start our turn for visual approach at DME4 on a radial 179er from Samos VOR. In this case I will put Samos VOR 179er and DME4. We'll just put it into the legs page and erase it from here, and this is our remember that we have to start with the right turn. And from right turn we are proceeding on track 040. We are tracking 040 because the wind is blowing from the north, so we will be drifting down to the south. So I put there 040 radial. Then I put Samos VOR itself, and as you can see there is a radial from Samos VOR 120, and when we are crossing these two radials we should have approximately 1000 feet above main sea level to start our left base. This left base will be very short, and with the crosswind component, yeah, well, I'm scared enough quite now. Okay, so 120, and just scroll all the waypoints if everything is okay. So once again, okay, we have Urnil here. From Urnil DME arc, you see the deceleration point is already on DME arc, and then go, this is our final approach fix, 3000 exactly, and starting descent to 1900 feet to reach this DME4. And from this DME4 we are going via heading select, altitude hold, and going back and turning with the left turn, do the left base for short final runway 27. In case the bulk landing procedure here in Samos should be immediately, as soon as possible, turning to the left and following the Samos radial 160 and climbing to 3000 feet, and then join back for another approach. So I will put another radial, do not mess up with this, 160, and this is for our bulk landing procedure. I'm pretty sure that's it, and we don't forget about something. What we can check next is yes, we are 80 nautical miles per top of descent. That could be problem to decelerate the airplane because we have quite strong tailwind component. That's why we are let me check the OFP, and OFP says that we should land at Samos and 1530 UTC Zulu. Okay. We are far ahead of our schedule. Okay, Athens is right here. I will delete a beam, and I will delete Samos airport because we have already put the necessary information right over there. Airplane status is okay so far, it's quite good, and we will check the next how much fuel we have overhead initial approach fix, which is Deluxe. Okay, that's quite perfect because we have holding fuel available for 1 hour and 40 minutes. In this case we can easily make 2 go around and some 1 or 2 holdings. That's quite okay, and our performance limiting landing weight is as well okay. That's nice. I like these numbers. As there is no air traffic controller, I will proceed to replay. Okay, so I think that we are briefed enough. In real life, when you are flying Greece Islands and you are expected wind shear on short final, yes, if you have wind shear, pull up wind shear, you have to execute the go around and do not change the configuration. That's quite okay. But in real life you have wind shear on short final on Greece Islands without any warning from your systems. And especially with MCC crew, we are flying there, that pilot flying has both of these hands on control column, and pilot monitoring keep his hand on the thrust levers in order to help pilot flying, or let him to get the proper input into flight controls. Once again, we have the traffic over there, so 1.8 is crucial to transmitting blind. For transmitting blind, it's so-called transmitting blind when you have no ATC controller. And you are on active frequency. Okay. Now let me check it with the descent forecast page. What was the wind condition? At flight level 250 it was 11 knots. At 6000 feet 19 knots. This wind condition, I will check it once again with OFP. Sorry for that. But according to the operational flight plan, it's almost precise. The jet stream, the core of the jet stream is approximately between flight level 310 and 350. Okay, the wind conditions at Samos doesn't change. Didn't change, sorry for my English. Okay, we can go down. Mykonos airport. Another category C airport, I think so. Okay, again there is nobody out here, so we may proceed to Urnil. We will skip these waypoints. Level change. We are 4,000 feet above the profile. I think that we can make it with the speed brakes, and I don't like to use the speed brakes with high speed because the real airplane would start shaking. But in this situation, in order to catch the glide, we need to do it like this way. If we are still high above the profile, we can make it with heading select, left or right turn. We will see. We'll put flight level 100 directly. The wind is almost precise. I'm pretty surprised for this condition, but anyway, he won't go down. We have on changeover 310 indicated. That's why he's not going down, so I will put it like this way. I think I can make it, but as you can see I can't make it. I'm quite high. Where prepare passenger for hot Samos temperatures. We'll see how it improves. That's quite okay. Can back go to the L now. V now as well. Stall the speed brakes. Again we are high above profile. We revert to V now speed. Anyway, fasten belts on. Okay, we see on the tickets another traffic. This is completely crazy. He won't to go down and decelerate, won't go down. Anyway, we can go for 7000 feet by QNH 1018. And as you can see, the airport is in front of us. We can make it visually straight. No. Okay, level 100, lights on. Okay, now we are joining the DME arc. 1000 to level off. And the guy who is going to Samos is right behind us. If he is quite experienced, he will perform the go around. He has A320neo. It shouldn't be any problem for him. And as well, he is really close to me, and okay, what he is doing? No common sense, absolutely. Okay, I can't see him. I have resolution advisory. So in this case, I should... If you have a resolution advisory, yeah, he's right here. As you can see on VATSIM, you see the people which has basically nothing in their heads. We are overhead deadlocks, we can go to 3000. Okay, anyway, we are visually... I guess this stupid guy is going for a landing. I'll leave it in level change in order to not leave the airplane. Accelerate, I will go for flaps 10. And we will see what he is going to do right now, because he was going from direction which belongs to no standard instrument arrival, and he saw that there is traffic here. I'm really mad of him. I think this is the idiot. Anyway, he saw me on TCAS and he overfly me. Okay. I'm quite sure he will be doing the backtrack. So let's say I will keep the distance from here 5 miles. In this kind of airport it should be 10 miles at least. If you watch my stream, watch this video, you see the incompetent person is flying over the VATSIM. Okay, we are performing absolutely non-standard, as I wasn't expected.
Samos traffic Cairo 14 Romeo Mike will be inbound the Sierra Alpha Mike DR for the final runway 25.
Okay. Okay, and next time please be aware that I was in front of you with a lower level.
Yeah, I did send a message on text because I tried to call you on voice, but you were far in the distance, so you couldn't hear me, so I sent a message on text.
Okay, I will check it, but I saw no message.
Correct station, Samos, Ryanair 7 to the Papa, backtrack to departs runway 25 Samos.
Okay.
What used to be? 7 Samos.
I need to realize that airplane is unable to keep the altitude, so I will go.
Enters the backtrack sound from departing Ryanair 737 Samos Street.
We've got 2 departures from Samos.
Okay, we are back on 3000. I don't know why he don't respect the altitude anyway. On localizer captured.
Samos traffic Ryanair 950 enters the backtrack runway 27 Samos.
Okay, there is one outbound traffic. Okay. What he did?
Correct station, Samos, Ryanair 7 Delta Papa, departed Samos time 51, tracks outbound 173 radial, the 11 DME, your traffic, Samos.
He was at higher
Samos
level.
traffic Cairo 14 Romeo Mike final 10 2 miles runway 25 Samos traffic.
He was on higher level. He was behind me. He overfly me completely. He made a resolution advisory for me, which is incident in real life. And he didn't write me any message because I didn't see the message on my vPilot. There is no message. So he was telling the lies. Samos traffic relax 101 establish on final approach track for runway 27.
Samos traffic Ryanair 950 departs from runway 27 time for 4.
At least this Ryanair departing traffic is smart enough.
2500.
Okay, anyway, we are reaching 1900. We'll pre-select the heading 040.
Approaching minimums. Minimums.
Okay, so continue, heading select, starting our base, and make it final config, so flaps 1 to 7.
Diregard 14 Romeo Mike, backtrack runway 27 for exit Alpha 1 Samos traffic.
Okay, 3000 feet as the bulk landing is pre-selected.
Ryanair 950, departed time 55.
Okay, autopilot is engaged.
On the 173.
Cycle flight directors deselect the speed and set bulk landing heading, which is 160.
Samos traffic runway 27 is located. Samos traffic.
Okay, we are on the point which should have 900 feet. We are approximately 100 feet above, but I think we are quite low on profile, so I will level it and we may start our base turn. Now we have 10 knots of crosswind component. Okay, I see the puppy, we are quite low on profile, so I will level the airplane a little bit.
$100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Okay, we are on the ground. Okay, 60 knots, closing thrust levers, thrust reversers. Okay, we will make it non-standard as well, start the APU because of short taxi and after landing procedure. I realize sometimes on VATSIM people are talking at the situation in which it is not necessary to do, and when it is necessary to talk to each other, they are quiet. I personally don't like it. But this tricky situation, what happened, it's not related to your aviation skills or whatever. It is related to your behave and nature, and using your common sense, and the people like this guy shouldn't be there. Because if we check it, what he did, maybe he have a larky point, so we have to, he should proceed to Samos VOR and then descend with the racetrack and make it outbound. What he did, he just put direct and that's it. And he completely disregarded the traffic and talking lies, because I have no message on my vPilot from him. Be aware of the fact that in real aviation, two things I would like to point out is the one thing, the traffic which is in front of you, and especially the lower level altitude, has the priority. So your responsibility as pilot in command is to decelerate the airplane and make your own separation from your preceding traffic. So this is the priority, and crossing me and make a resolution advisory in real life leads to incident report. We have the report forms right over here, and in this case I will write the report what happens exactly, and there's the columns, what was the cleared level, what was the instrument, for example a clear waypoint, what was the standard instrument arrival, at which point was it, what was the vertical speed. There are too many informations you fill in the report, and it will goes to the Civil Aviation Authority, and they will decide it, who was responsible for making the risk of collision. Okay, we are on the stand, so parking brake set. We will wait a little bit to cool down the engines. We have APU on bus, it's quite okay. I will check if we perform all the after landing procedure, but I guess it's quite okay. You can shut down the engines. So okay, okay. I release the cabin. Anti-collision lights off. One pump leaf for APU. And we put APU on bleed. IRS is off. And we can ask for ground stuff. Okay, let's put the chokes on and request, what do we request? Thirds on the left, on the right, passenger bus and baggage loaders. That's okay. We can release the parking brakes to cool the engine, to cool the brakes, but so far it's okay, not any problem. Okay, so the final conclusion is it was quite a nice flight. I don't understand the KLM guy in front of what he was doing, because he was behind me and he was with a higher level and he was flying without the standard instrument arrival. And he basically saw me on TCAS and intentionally make a resolution advisory. If we are wearing cockpit, I need to disengage the autopilot and auto throttle and follow the red lines, but as we are on VATSIM, I will leave it like it was. And another strange point was the guy from Ryanair. He was quite okay. He was smart enough when to depart and what was the correct departure. So I'm happy with him. And what was the strange, the airplane sometimes, but I think it's the PMDG bug, sometimes the airplane is unable to keep the altitude. I don't know why. So I need to revert it to vertical speed, and with the vertical speed to come back even if we have altitude hold. But anyway, there was no problem with it because we were over the sea without any obstacles. So I hope you enjoyed this flight and see you soon with the next video. Bye.